Today I messed up by taking my dog to the vet, nsfw. Let me start by saying that my dog has had issues with urinary crystals in the past few months. This morning I woke up to my dog puking on my bed. Alright, no biggie, sometimes they get upset stomachs just like we do. But anyways, great start to my morning. On to the actual event. I'm sitting drinking my coffee and Calvin, my dog, starts licking his genital area. Now, because of his past problems with the urinary crystals, I am hypervigilant when I notice this, as that's how we caught the crystals in the first place. So I check it out, and see that there is a golf ball-sized lump in his genital area. So, I do what any good dog owner does and panic, call into work, and take him to the vet. Did you know that when dogs get an erection, it can cause a golf ball-sized lump in that area due to blood flow? Because I paid $60 to learn that my dog had an erection. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Reddit, I hope y'all are having a better morning than I am. TLDR, paid $60 to the vet to find out my dog had a boner. Today I messed up by walking in on my parents hosting a swingers party when I was 12. I first found out when I was 12. Growing up, my parents would regularly take me to parties where there might be some other kids of the couples hanging out in the basement or rec room where I would join them. I was like 5 to 8 when we'd do this, so I never really had hints of what was going on. I just figured that the adults are doing boring grown-up stuff and the kids are eating junk food and watching movies until we fell asleep and our parents would finally GTS in the middle of the night and took us home. Later on, my parents started actually hosting the parties. When I was a bit older, they would highly encourage me to go and spend the weekend at friends' houses. I knew it was odd when on Thursday evening they would say, "Hey, you should see if you can spend the weekend at Ryan's. You haven't seen him in a while." But I just kind of accepted it and was more focused on going to my friend's house for the weekend. During one of these sleepovers, I left my skateboard at home because we thought it was going to rain. The weather later changed, so I walked the 15 minutes home to go and get it. Around 9 p.m. I noticed a lot of cars on the street but didn't think that they were at our house. I unlocked the front door and walked right in and noticed all the shoes and was pretty confused. I could hear some noise coming from our pool out back, so I went to investigate. Our backyard is pretty secluded and hidden from our neighbors. When I walked out to the pool deck, I saw 5 to 6 couples, all completely naked, right in the middle of their activities. In the pool that I had swam in the day before and in the hot tub, on the deck chairs which I had sat in multiple times. I was shocked and horrified. My parents saw me but I just walked right out, leaving my skateboard. I went back to my friend's house and stayed quiet for the rest of the weekend. I put off going home until Sunday evening, but when I did, they sat me down and we basically talked and answered my questions until like 1 a.m. I honestly cried a bit at first, but to their credit, they were completely open and honest with me, and by the end I felt a lot more comfortable with the concept. After that they started telling me I could stay at home during the parties. They'd just let me know beforehand and ask if I wanted to go to a friend's house or stay at home. Today I messed up by making a nice lady shit herself. 27 meters, hooked up with a girl, early 40 SF, I met on a pretty dubious sex site. We texted back and forth for a while. Things were getting steamy immediately. She was really attractive, she also seemed to really want me. Which just spurred me on more. We had arranged some fun after a couple weeks sexting. Was pretty late, I think around 1 a.m. she asked me to come over. I show up, super excited, eager beaver. Now I should probably mention that beforehand we had chatted about some intense kinky fun. I'll not go into any more gory detail any more than I have to. In reality, how it happened was actually in the least depraved way. I digress. So basically she wanted it rough and hard. She asked if I would first her. I happily obliged. I'm 6 feet 2, about 16.5 stone, so there's some large hands with considerable force. I was kneeling in front of her, hand inside, giving it vigorous effort. She demands more, dose and ask, fucking demanded that I go harder. Staring right into my soul when she does. Not wanting to let this beautiful woman down, I kick it up a gear. After a few seconds of gasps and intense convulsions, she leans forward and grabs the back of my head, pulling me close to her. My face is right in between her breasts. They're beautiful and I am so happy, but wait, what's this? Something off here, my olfactory senses are being assaulted. Now I am not much squeamish when it comes to sex. Things get messy, it's cool. A strong smell of shit, however, kinda shuts things down for me, especially if there is no anal involved. I'm there on my knees, being held in position, hand fully locked inside her. She obviously hasn't caught wind. Once she calmed down a little, she lets me go and I pull away. I see the brown stains on the towel and very nearly puke. I hold it together though. She looks at me and smiles, in such a loving way. That smile suddenly disappeared and was replaced with a look of shock and confusion. Did I just shit myself? Yeah, do you mind if I take a shower? Sorry to everyone who is offended by the graphic nature of this post. I just needed to get that off my mind. Too long. Didn't read. Basically aggressively finger blasted a girl I was really into to the point where she shat herself.